it's amazing when I see, somebody who's in their hundreds.
It's only women.
And they're moving.
It's women.
Yeah. I don't see much men.
Do you really want me to retouch on it?
I don't see much men.
For the new listeners, welcome. We appreciate you. You probably were late to a few episodes and stuff, whatever, or maybe 100 episodes and stuff, whatever. Yeah. But
you're here now.
We had this discussion and stuff, whatever, in the past, and I'm telling you, like I said, it's just Podical Sun science. Orgasms, man. They reduce life expectancy, man.
They reduce the life expectancy.
They reduce life expectancy and stuff, whatever. Like I said, a teenage boy, once he finds out that, like, you tug it a few times, some white stuff can come out.
Yeah.
He's reducing his life expectancy and stuff, whatever, from like a little tug splash. He's
already marked his death.
Right. So marked his death. Was it Steven Seagal flick? Yo.
The Podical podcast, you can't win. Talking a good game, you can't win. Topics never lame, you can't win. Win.
Not your average Joseph. Marvelous. It's ridiculously funny.
Hi everybody, I'm Marvelous.
And I'm not your average Joseph.
And we are the Podical Sons. So let's start the show. How are you feeling today, man?
I'm good. Now that I know you got writing credits, we might have to start a group later on in life.
Timestamp all this shit, whatever. I'm gonna start suing some people. My stuff ends up in the wrong hands.
Mm-hmm.
I see some of some of your peoples and stuff trying to like touch and squeeze our shit or my shit, retype it up and claim it as their shit.
That's just the ones we see.
That's
just the one we see. That's just the ones we see.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Oh my gosh. Much less. Because the funny thing too, I want to say, I think I'm grateful that we have, I guess, a business type of account.
Right.
On the gram.
Yeah.
Because it keeps like the stats and the insights and analytics and stuff, whatever, right? So like when I say like, oh, your page has been viewed over like 2K within 30 days and all that type of stuff, and how many days? It'd be like, So it's kind of like just,
It's being seen. It's being seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The likes don't ever match. I don't know why. They like to watch.
They like to watch.
They like to watch and steal.
They like to watch.
You guys, what do they call the Russian folks? The oligarchs?
The oligarchs.
The kleptocrats.
The kleptocrats?
The kleptocrats, man. I'm gonna find y'all.
Yeah. So, give credit where credit's due.
Yes, man.
It's almost over 100 episodes back.
That's right. Like, comment, subscribe, all the above. All streaming platforms. PodicalSons.com. We are there. YouTube, you can see this as well. And yeah, let's start the show. Papa came to play. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's start with the polls and stuff like that.
Poll number one.
Poll number one. I don't like how you said poll number one.
Poll brother number one.
Poll brother number one. Doesn't sound like some Island Boy sus shit right there. First poll of the week is a longer life a better life? And 20% said yes, and 80% said no.
80% said no?
Yes. Talk about it. How you feel about that.
I'm rolling with the 20%.
You rolling with the 20%?
Yeah.
Talk about it.
How can a longer life not be a better life? It's all in what you choose to do with it.
Okay, so now let me say this then. You have these moments and stuff where, all right, well, your punk ass, you talk about the immortality thing.
Right.
You want to be immortal together and everything like that. And I'm still opposed to this shit. But then again, I feel like you always have to be like specific, or certain movies or certain shows I've seen we talk about immortality.
Right.
You have to be like precise and concise with how you want this immortality to go.
Yeah.
So you can live long.
Yeah.
But you might be old and wrinkly and shut down and all the above. So I mean,
right.
I'm thinking from their side, like certain people might look at it stuff as where I don't want to be, let's say 120 and they can't wipe their own ass.
Right.
Because kind of like, was it worth it and stuff, whatever, right? Me, keep it a buck. I feel like a long life is, if you make it to like the 90s, if you make it to the 90s and stuff, whatever, I think that's a long life.
That is a long life.
So I feel like, if you made it to like, you're damn near to the century mark and stuff, whatever, like even let's say I don't know. I want to think optimistic and stuff. Let's say you make it to the 90s. Let's say like at 88 or 89. Let's say the health of the body starts to like,
Right.
decline and stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
You still had like 88 years and stuff, whatever, or
Well-
even count the adult life starting.
For come on, our expectancy is not past 80.
No.
Our expectancy is not past 80. So if we're going past 80, that's a long life.
Yeah.
And there's and I see some. It's amazing when I see somebody who's in their hundreds
It's only women.
and they're moving.
It's women.
Yeah, I don't. I don't see much men.
Do you really want me to retouch on it?
I don't see much men.
For the new listeners, welcome. We appreciate you. You probably were late to a few episodes and stuff, whatever, or maybe 100 episodes and stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
But
You're
we
here
had,
now.
we had this discussion and stuff, whatever, in the past, and I'm telling you, like I said, it's just particle sun science. Orgasms, man. They reduce life expectancy, man.
They reduce the life expectancy.
They reduce life expectancy and stuff, whatever.
Yeah,
Like I said, a teenage boy, once he finds out that, like, you tug it a few times, some white stuff can come out.
Yeah.
He's reducing his life expectancy and stuff, whatever, from like a little tug splash.
He's already marked his death.
Right. So that marked his death. Was it Steven Seagal flick? Yo. So then now, when it comes to the point now,
Right.
that's the reason some dudes that tap out like before 80. They were like rubbing and tugging and stuff, whatever, and splashing all over the place. And remember, some women have never had an orgasm before.
True.
Some women don't even have orgasms and stuff like that.
True.
So that's what I'm saying. If we're talking about orgasms due to reduction on life, come on, dog. From these teenage habits to probably like some adult habits to like fucking. Was some women and stuff are like conservative with the vagina.
Okay, so I think to prove your point definitively,
Yes.
we're gonna have to find out how old hermits live to.
Hermits will live up to whatever because they've shed the body, the urges.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So and then they'll do it.
They'll do it. So that's why we gotta find out the oldest hermit.
Yeah, but we'll find that out. But I'm saying I'm looking at stuff like most hermits and stuff, whatever. They not trying to be researched. They're in some cave. They're in some mountain. They're in some island.
There's a hermit right now who's 900 years old because he ain't squeezed no nut.
No, he probably squeezed some nuts stuff in his earlier heyday, and he realizes stuff. The older I get,
right,
I realize and stuff, whatever. I always say this stuff. Is the juice now worth the squeeze?
Yeah.
I look at stuff as where, as a young youth.
Right.
I wanted to fuck every girl in the world. Just like the song, the Young Money track, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then the older I get and stuff, and I'm looking like, yo, ladies, hey, some of y'all don't treat the cooch properly, like there's certain things and stuff, certain factors, and then much as I want to say, I'm not too fond of a woman chasing money.
Yeah.
What I mean by that, like more of the gold digger types and stuff, whatever,
I know what you mean.
So then I'm looking at stuff as like, shout out to my parents, they give me a face and a look.
Yeah.
That, some of the gold digger types and some of the other types and stuff, whatever, kind of dig my look. So they might take a chance on me.
Right.
I might be, what you said from the soap opera, the pool boy?
Brad. You might be Brad.
I might be a Brad.
You might be a Brad.
Pool boy. They might take a chance and stuff, whatever, on me, but they realize and stuff that like, yo, like, I'm not in it like that.
Yeah.
So before it'd be like, just take it to have it on the books. And now I'm looking at them like, yo, I love when you give me head. I hate when you give me headaches. So if it feels like a headache, I'm not really gonna chase it now because I really do want peace.
Yeah.
Right? So I look like not every chick is really worth the squeeze and stuff for that. But I realized that I thought I was the only one, but I realized a lot of older dudes and stuff for that. They were looking like, yeah, it's good to stare at whatever, but
it's the headache's not worth it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So right.
Yeah.
So you're okay.
Yeah.
Bless your heart. But I feel like, like if you make it to 90,
God willing.
Yo, you're blessed.
God willing. You are blessed if you make it to 90.
Blessed. Man, even like today, I told you, I just found out like a previous, person I worked with.
Yeah.
Passed and all that type of stuff, whatever, right? So it's like,
Oh, it's while we're here. R.I.P. to Mr. Magoo. He was just 50.
Not Mr. Magoo. That's a different.
That's
Magoo.
I always call him
it's
Mr.
Magoo.
Magoo.
Magoo, or like the way he said Maganu.
Maganu.
Yeah,
he was just 50.
50 on the dot.
On the dot.
Yeah, Magoo from Timbaland and Magoo. You know, from the Missy Elliott time, the Up Jumps the Boogie, that Magoo. So R.I.P. to him. But
R.I.P.
again, to even make it to 80 is a blessing.
It is.
He didn't make it past
it is a blessing.
50.
It is a blessing.
Right?
It's like to think of our life expectancy is not really that long.
No.
But yet still there's a lot of us who don't even make it there.
And yeah, it's like I look at it where, again, it's about what you could do, what's the best thing to do.
Right.
And then there's God.
Yeah.
Right? Like I always look at stuff as where everything in the modern world or in this Western world is out here to kill us.
Every single thing.
And it's kind of like they're disguised and stuff as like pleasures. And I don't want to say like it's in moderation too much of something that's bad enough for you and everything, but it's kind of like, okay. Like we talked about the last episode and stuff, like weed gives you peace. But then again, we know smoking and stuff, whatever, can create all some types of chest issues and lung issues and stuff like that as well, right?
Right.
And then people who are just constantly getting like the fast foods and all that type of stuff, and the trans fats are blocking arteries.
There's always a trade-off that we fight to balance with. I feel like that's yeah. I mean, it's what you're saying, right? Like the guilty pleasure on one side, like we know what it's costing us, but still, it's like, what else do you live for if not for pleasure? Right? It's like, shit, we're only here for not even 80 years. We got to enjoy something of it. But then when we try to enjoy something of it, the more it takes away from our livelihood.
But and this is where it kind of comes back to with the happiness and the contentment thing.
Yeah.
Because if you're chasing happiness, whatever, right? It might be in just that landscape that you're talking about.
Right.
Where you're just like, yo, these are the pleasures that I want. But it's like, yeah, again, too much of something that's bad for you. Moderation would be the contentment. Right? So now you're looking at stuff as like, yeah, well, you can go here on vacay or something like that. I'm not saying like, yo, don't do these type of things. But I want to say
nothing like that.
Some people just like overindulge.
Yes.
And then they think that this is the way to go.
Right.
Right? It's kind of like, fuck, you're not overindulging? What's wrong with you? You broke? Are you on drugs? Or like something's not right with your brain?
Right.
But you're like, nah, I'm good. And then like the worst of things is that might possibly happen to the person. So I hope for the best of them, but it's kind of written like we've seen this play out. But
we've seen it.
Some people just been possibly naive, I want to say.
Yeah.
To it. So yeah, but for me, I think a longer life and stuff does equal up to like a better life. I fully agree with it. So I'm more on the yes side. So, but most of the people said no, 80%. I think they got life. They're lifing wrong. They're not lifing properly.
They're not lifing properly.
They're lifing wrong.
They're not lifing properly. Because at least if you're lifing properly and things are not what it is right now, you see a light at the end. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel. You just want to make it there.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. If you're lifing properly.
If you're lifing properly and stuff, whatever, you have your I guess, whatever things you're doing to kind of align to, make sure everything and stuff is running smooth. And then you have to honestly ask yourself and stuff, is this helping me or is this hurting me?
Right.
And if it's helping you, go true.
That 80% is in the forest. No compass.
Yeah, they lost.
They lost.
For real. That's our opinion. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that.
I'm not mad at that. Okay. The next poll stated, have you ever been injured during sex? And it was like, Uno reverse for the poll. 80% said yes.
80% said yes.
And 20% said no.
20% said no.
Now you're on the no side.
I'm on the no side, man.
So now tell me.
I've never I mean,
so you want all right? You want me to say all right?
Couple Charlie horses here and there, cramps. I think that's the extent. That's the extent. Oh, and one coming down on the dick too hard. Bend. Yeah. Yeah.
I felt queasy.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
She.
Mm.
You okay?
Temporarily, no. But that just slid right back in. I was getting to go.
You fucked through the pain?
It was that grimace face. She probably thought she was doing a good job, but it was really the grimace face.
Yo, my skin just crawled. Yo. I know of a person and stuff, whatever. It happened to them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I was in close proximity to where him and the woman was.
Right.
I blame woman all the way.
Yeah, there's only one person you can blame in that situation.
I blame woman all the way. And because the scream of pain.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then she starts screaming and stuff like that. So I'm like, yo, what's going on? So it was someone else with myself. But so these two were doing their thing.
Okay.
This happened. And then the other person and myself was like, yo,
what's going on?
They're both screaming.
Right.
Right. And she's like, oh my God. So I was looking like, we ran. We went to the door. And then he's crying. And then you see like,
I don't mean to laugh, but
and that's the reason why I'm like, I'm queasy because I wanted to yak. I was like, is that
okay, so mine wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Mine wasn't. I could still go through.
Yeah. He was going left. That's fucked up. I'm sorry.
Left.
I hope he doesn't listen to this podcast. But if
not.
he does, apologies. You know who I'm talking about.
You and Mrs. If she listens to.
Mm-hmm. So you never been injured. So
the cramp. But I think cramp is like a normal thing for students of the game. Cramp.
I've cramped, but I've cramped and I stopped.
You've stopped?
Because like the cramp, like it was a Charlie horse, and the Charlie horse took me out the game because keeled over on the side, and I was just there and. According to the woman, she said she just saw like the condom and stuff go from standing up to like to the Neptune sound, and she's like, she knew I was going through some things, but she said she just couldn't help but just kept looking at the dick and then just watching it just like get smaller and softer and softer. I was like, it's not funny.
Her disappointment.
Go get the Rub A535 or the Tiger Bomb. So yeah, like. And I know what the situation. TLC used to have a show and stuff, whatever. Sex sent me to the ER, right?
Yeah.
I've heard some stories on that show. Like I heard, like,
but some of those people were doing the most though to get those type of ER injuries.
Partial. One thing that threw me off, a dude was, I guess, having sex with a woman, hitting it from the back.
Yeah.
And when he's hitting it from the back and stuff, whatever. A testicle ended up in there, right? So I was like, somebody's getting loose with it. Bruce probably hit it or something. So the testicle was not removing itself. He tried to pull away, and then he was in like a.
So he was lodged.
He was lodged. And
the impact to get it in there,
yo. I like
yeah.
Because TLC never really showed it.
No.
But they explained it.
Too hot for TV.
Yeah. But I was looking like, but apparently the story was that they were doing doggy style, and then that's when it happened. So I was like, how small is your balls? I'm like, I don't know, or how wide is her puss? Exactly.
I'm still trying to physically like.
Let me see if I'll see if I can YouTube this shit and show you. And then because I was sitting there like, huh? And I was watching it with somebody, and I was like, huh? And they're like, don't ask me, you're the man. Like I was like, in my years, I have not.
I've never.
Yeah.
Ball slapping cooch is is the most that I know balls action can possibly do. I don't know anything else. What balls have done.
Oh, it's the gift that keeps on giving. This topic
in
here.
a lifetime.
This topic. But
no, girls never tell you about the ball smacking a cooch from the back shot?
Yeah.
I mean, we know about that. How the balls end up in the cooch. That's a whole different story.
Yeah. Let us pray that this don't never happen to you. Yes, man. All right. Let's go through that. Battle of Beatmakers, folks. When you're getting this on the Tuesday, you only have a few more days left for the tickets. If you're in the GTA and stuff, whatever, come on. Tell them a little more stuff. Oh, tickets are $53?
$53 in advance, and I suggest grabbing them in advance because you don't want to be at the door and find out,
some new shit.
You either can't get on or it's a little bit more, right? So
because it's a bang for the buck. I look at this stuff as where you're getting the competition aspect and stuff, whatever. You're enjoying like the vibe and the mode, and then you get a little concert action,
and you get the concert action on top of that,
right? So it's like two. That's a twofer.
Yeah, I mean, what's the average concert price right now?
Jeez. Give it a buck. Shout out to Coco Jones. Coco Jones and stuff did come here and stuff recently.
Yeah.
She doesn't really have too many song stuff on her catalog, but I want to say it was about like 50.
About 50.
And that was at a smaller venue. Compared to like Battle of Beatmakers and stuff there. But even somewhere now where the venue's even like a bigger type of spot.
Yeah.
Shit, even History. Like, shout out to the History establishment too. They had like Brent Fayez, Nelly was there, like a good portion of people and stuff will go there. Those tickets are minimum 120.
Listen, shout out to all y'all who complain that y'all have no money, but somehow ended up at the Beyonce concerts. Y'all are better than me.
No, well, are they better than you? Probably not. We are all created equally. I look at it like, all right, take this in. You know people that might go, you might not know somebody personally, but you might know people that will go to a mega church.
Right.
I think you probably might be frowned upon if you went to a mega church and you're physically going, and you probably just put like maybe like $2-3 and stuff in the offering.
No, it's not. You can't do that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, picture if you're going like to see TD Jakes or like Joel Osteen and these type of heavy hitters and stuff like that. Pastor Keon. You're going there with some change.
Yeah.
I look at this stuff as where if you accumulate, let's say, how many times these people might go to these mega churches and stuff, let's say within a year, it might average out to be, and how much they get for a donation or offering, it might average out to be as much as more as a concert ticket.
I got a point there. Because
remember, the concert and stuff, let's say, okay, Beyonce and stuff will come, or let's not even say Beyonce, like another artist might come to your city once a year. 50 and Busta, they're different beasts.
Yeah.
They started here in Toronto, they're going around the damn thing, and they ending this bitch here and stuff, whatever, right? But again, picture some the people and stuff that are going to both shows.
Right.
Think about the bread that was spent, and then, people like to stunt, especially like black people. So they're going to buy outfit, buy whatever to go, because I went to the last one, I'm not going to wear the same outfit, and then bada bing. Then tally that up for the dollars.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's a different dance.
We'll be there in full force, taking in the festivities and see who will be crowned the 2023 Battle of the Beatmaker champ. Yes.
Let me ask you stuff, whatever. 50 years of hip hop and producers, the beat makers, the producers and stuff behind the works of art that we do receive as end users.
Right.
I want to say this. Do producers make more of an impact today Or did they make more of an impact and stuff back then? And I want you to think about that and stuff as a producer yourself, because I look at it stuff as where I've heard beats that have been wasted on some artists and stuff, whatever. I look at it stuff like, this beat is too good for you.
Right.
But it's the beat that will save some people. That carries the track and stuff, whatever, right? So do you
I think
today or back then?
I think today, only because they're more accessible, and I think that a lot of them are. I wouldn't say a lot of them, but they're more. Some of them put themselves out there more, and they use social media more, and they're in the limelight. I think who comes to mind when I think of like a producer. Who is known just for his as much as his personality, as he is making beats, is Murder Beats.
Okay,
like you'll see him hang with the Migos, not so much now, but when he was at like starting off and at his height, like you knew who he was by looking at him. You could pick him out in a crowd.
I couldn't.
You couldn't pick out Murder Beats?
I couldn't. Most of the producers and stuff, whatever, if they're not like, let me say this. Maybe when I was younger,
right?
Yes, because I want to say I had less things on my plate to kind of say put face and pin this person or stuff, whatever. Too. Boy Wonder's Asian, right? No. Who?
Francis Scott Heat is Asian.
Francis Scott Heat.
Yeah.
He's Asian,
Mhm.
right? And he had like a I seen him in the photo and stuff with a hat, right? But normally he has like a low cut, like a buzz cut. See,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm naming another producer.
He might be naming another producer.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I couldn't pick them out.
Right.
Unless if I entrenched and stuff into it.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. Like to the average person and stuff, whatever, you just know now than before, there's tags.
Right.
Like I want to say, in my time kind of coming up and stuff, whatever, you heard, phew, phew, phew. You know that's a Neptune's beat.
Right.
Timbaland never really like trademarked or like made anything to like signify this is beats. Now all the producers and stuff, whatever, like, Murder on the beat, Mustard on the beat. They're letting you know they're signaturing their beats and stuff, whatever. The Chloe Bailey track, the Lord Have Mercy, Murder on the beat, so as not night. I know who produced it.
Right.
Can I pin a face to it? No, I cannot.
Yeah, I guess I'm a little bit different, being that I'm like in that realm.
Yeah, so you have a bias.
So yes, I have a bias. I guess for me then, like seeing these today producers, I probably would say, yeah, you know what? I probably would say you're right, from the era of like tagging. You know what I mean? Like I know the beat, I know the tag, and then I know I can associate the face with who's producing the beat and the tag. A lot of my producers, like my favorite producers, who've like produced some like the like some of the best of the the considered old school joints now, like the 90s stuff. Most of them I've never, I didn't know what they looked like until social media.
Right.
Like I knew of them,
yeah,
and I knew what songs they produced, but I would pass them in the street, just like you would pass like some of these guys in the street, right? So it's cool now to see that like some of these old school guys are getting they're just desserts. And what's really dope is I see producer Easy Mo B do it. I see Lord Finesse do it, and I seen Bink. They'll bring out some of their old machines.
Okay.
And then they'll play you like the original files of like the hip hop track that was like blew up. Like the last one I seen Easy Mo B had his SP 1200, which is like a sample drum machine. He had it out and he played the beat. It's a Party, Busta Rhymes and Zayn.
Okay. Yeah.
And
it's a party.
Right.
Yeah.
He played that on the MPC, and I was sorry, MPC. He played on the SP12, and I was like, I didn't know
that's a drum machine for basic people like
sample
us.
Drum machine. And I didn't know, first and foremost, that he did that track. Secondly, I didn't know it was done on that machine. I thought it was like, okay, there was I knew some parts were samples, but I thought, okay, no, that guitar part might have been played. But no, he did everything on the machine. So I was like, okay, that's interesting to know. And there's a story behind some of these records, right? It's like,
there's a story behind most of the
things. Well, and it's like, well, especially from the producer sides, because you hear them and it's like, oh yeah, that song that you hear like the Lost Boys on, oh, I sent it to Jay-Z first, but Jay-Z turned it down. And then you start imagining yourself, oh, how would Jay-Z sound on that track? You know what I mean? Just like how you're saying, like some of these beats now, they're going to artists where you figure you probably could have sent it to somebody better. And you start figuring out, oh, that person might have sounded good on that, or that person might have sounded good on it. So it's interesting to hear like some and like some of these like beats are like, yo, like stable beats, and you hear that this artist turned it down. It's like, wow, that artist turned that down. It's like, okay. But then you start, okay, would it be the same if that artist was on it? You know what I mean? Like that's the trade-off, right?
I mean, it's the creative. Like, I think that comes part of the creative process and stuff, much less when you're putting things out there.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like, okay, let's say, for example, I mean, I don't want to brag, but I want to say, like, the content and the topics we talk about out here and stuff is fire. None before it, none to come. Now the motherfuckers will copy it.
Right.
Or they might emulate some of the things and stuff. And it might, I guess, I don't want to say phonetically, but let's say somebody else saying it might have a different reach.
Right.
Or a different touch and feel and stuff, whatever to it, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, we're not sex experts, but we're saying, have you been injured during sex? Right? Then let's say, R.I.P. Dr. Ruth.
Yeah.
If Dr. Ruth and stuff was the one to come out and say, folks, have you guys been injured during sex? That shit might have a sonic boom around the world. Right? So it's kind of like, I want to say, similar to like, okay, yeah, I seen, was it Fade to Black, the Jay-Z movie documentary thing?
Yeah.
Timbaland gave Jay-Z a few beats.
Right.
He played him a few beats and stuff before he said yes to Dirt Off Your Shoulders. Right? So there's this one beat and stuff, whatever. I forget the song, but it's a Ludacris song now, and I think it's called like, I don't know, it's like, jump down, turn around, pick up hella cotton. Oh, Lordy, pick up. It's on, it's like,
yeah. I know.
In the Faded to Black documentary,
yeah,
Timbaland played for Jay-Z, and Jay-Z's like, no. And Luda annihilated that shit.
Yeah.
Neptunes, they wrote Slave for You they produced and wrote for Janet Jackson.
Right.
And I was like, I could see Janet Jackson doing a seductive track and stuff on this shit. She's like, nah. And Britney Spears owned this shit. It catapulted Britney Spears' career like into a whole nother level. Right? So I'm looking like, it's just the tail of the tape. Like it just happens like that, whatever, right? So trust the process.
Yeah.
You just gotta trust the process. So yeah, man. But yeah, everybody get ready. You're gonna hear from the Sons and all the above pertaining to the Battle Beatmakers and stuff. But yes, once again, if you're in the GTA, the Greater Toronto area, don't be shy. Come on by.
That's it.
Yes. What else we got? Oh, thoughts and prayers to the residents of Hawaii, man.
Yeah.
We legit are praying for y'all. More and more the body tolls and stuff are rising and stuff. Now, I want to say, last I've heard, the death tolls have been up to 111. I first heard when it was at 35. Then I heard it went to 60 something.
Right.
And then last I've heard it was at 111 and still counting.
So the fires itself, are they containing it now? Is it still just running wild and free?
Some are kind of like have been contained.
Right.
Like I want to say, pertaining to things like they were explaining on CNN one day, and somebody said, if it had like a source of electricity, the world we live in now, we've got that advance pertaining to, let's say, extinguishers to deal with electrical fires, grease fires, and everything like that. So if they kind of attack most fires. You're supposed to attack all fires from the base.
Right.
Right? So when it gets to that point, yes. When it starts tapping into like Mother Nature, landscape and everything like that, or residential homes, it's kind of hard to track and where and to stop, right? So that part. So most of the fires and stuff have been contained, and some residents stuff are able to go back to like where they were.
Yeah.
But again, the home is not the same, right?
So now, when we originally spoke about it, right, we were discussing volcanoes, like active volcanoes in the area, and that's how it might have started. Since then, I've heard down electrical poles starting it. Do we have an idea of like exactly like have they determined an actual cause, or is it still like it could be this or it could
well, they had a hurricane, right?
Yes, they had the hurricane.
So that's what I'm saying, like there's not too many things that can stay stable and stuff during a hurricane. Right? So I mean, a good amount of winds and gusts and everything like that would just snap a cable,
right,
or push down a pole, right?
Right.
Okay. I look at it stuff as a good portion of us depend on electricity. So you had some aspect of stuff, again, with the volcano shit.
Right.
And then you had the other side of stuff, whatever, with the electrical stuff. But again, during a hurricane, a kaleidoscope of things can pop off.
Right.
So I don't know if that might answer your question.
I'm curious because like
I don't have all the answers.
No. As possible as I know it is, like I've never, and of course I live in a rural area. Like I've never seen a situation where an electrical pole can spark and catch something. So that's what I'm asking. Like, are these poles like, how is it set up? Is it like are they in the middle of like populated areas with trees and stuff like that?
Streets and houses, residential stuff.
Just residential.
Because if you look at it now, say if you're outside and stuff, whatever, right? And you see like electrical pole.
Yeah.
Like say a wire snaps, right?
Right.
That's going to be swinging and flailing.
Right.
With the spark and stuff going at the end.
Right.
Let's say it swings and flails and stuff and touches a car.
Right.
Boom.
Right.
It's a party.
Okay.
Swings and flails and touches a house. Boom. It's a fire party.
Okay.
So that just, and that's one instant.
Right.
Right? That's not much less, let's say, a grid somewhere. Like a grid could probably even like trigger off like a cascade, kind of like boom, boom, boom. And then sparks can fly, and then sparks will probably land on something and stuff, and then sparks land on some trees.
Right.
Dry wood.
Right.
So there's numerous factors. The lawsuits is what's confusing me. Because most of the residents want to sue the electrical companies and stuff, whatever now.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at something like, do you sue them or do you sue Mother Nature? Because again, we depended on the electricity and stuff, and it was all fun and games and stuff, whatever. It's not like the electrical company and stuff. Let's say they weren't like a shit phone company in Canada, Rogers, and it's fully, like you can see it's fully their system and stuff that's to blame for this.
Right.
Without the hurricane, Maui would have never probably been in a predicament like this.
Yeah, but I guess you have to also look at it too, right? It's like prevention is better than cure. So if I'm the telephone company, right? And
not telephone,
or the electrical company, I have to keep getting telephone wires, because I keep seeing telephone wires in my head. But if I'm the electrical company, right? And I know that a downed pole or a frayed wire has a potential of
some action
of starting a fire, right? What measures do I go to prevent that? Do I say, remember the other day when we were talking about how there should be like a buffer zone?
Yeah, but for the fires.
Yeah, for the fires. We're like, okay, if that's the case, now do we put in a buffer zone for the electricity, so that in such case of weather that we can't control, right? At least we can control the amount of damage that is done by what the infrastructures that we put in.
I get where you're coming from. I feel like that it's a no. For me, the reason why I say it's a no is because if you look at it, where how many people, or say how many companies,
right,
just keep buying up, let's say, let's say you have a buffer zone and stuff like here, and like the town or the city is all like in a circle, right? That want to say most of the land developers and stuff are going to be like, you know what? We can build a little bit outside that parameters and make some money from it because we live in a capitalist society. So they're going to just constantly trying to build out and be like, oh, okay, well, within the circle, shit is very pricey. Let's say Toronto might be the circle. Right? Now you create a new suburb and stuff, whatever, like Mississauga or even Brampton now. It's still striking range to kind of get to and fro the sun as a factor, but they're like, but you're not in that zone.
Right.
So obviously the houses in Toronto will be so much more compared to like the houses in Mississauga.
Right.
And then Mississauga and Brampton and stuff at the time of development.
Right.
Because that's the main thing. Let's say where Toronto is now, that was your buffer zone, and then they had electricity outside that.
Right.
Now you're taking the land, and now you're building houses and stuff in it. So the houses and stuff are now coming into the wiring for the spot. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if you're a developer though, right, you're gonna have all those infrastructure stuff ahead of time.
Of course,
and know where everything is. Right?
Of course, but money talks and bullshit runs track meets.
But that's what I'm saying. Okay, so this is where the lawsuit comes in, because if money talks and bullshit runs track meets, if that's the case, and you willingly said, okay, you know what, here to overlook this, right? Then, I mean, if a lawsuit comes your way, then you're going to have to just eat that lawsuit.
Kind sir, I do not disagree with you and stuff like that for it, whatever, right? Because I look at it as
that's the only way I see them being able to sue them.
We see it. Like, I want to say, the news outlets made a case and stuff, whatever, basically. I'm just looking at stuff, I was like, only a class action will help. Will help you, because you have to look at it as stuff as where, if it's you going against this company, they're going to have you in litigation and eat your dollars.
100%.
Now, with this class action going in now, then you stand a fighting chance for something. But then again, like, their thing and stuff would be like, yo, boss, I tell you, like, this is Mother Nature. And it depends on who is fighting for the class action side. Because if they're fighting a strong case and stuff, whatever, like, same thing you said earlier. And I love the way you said it.
Yeah.
Prevention is the key.
Yeah.
You're now looking at stuff like, oh shit, we now made this area, which was once our electrical world, our grounding wiring world, now a residential area.
Yeah.
What do we do to prevent this? But then again, if it ain't broken, then don't fix it.
That's the other thing.
So
that's the other thing.
Dollars will speak, man. So again, man, thoughts and prayers to them.
Yeah, man. Thoughts and prayers.
I've been waiting to talk about this Michael Oher story. The real Blindside.
We were blindsided.
Yo. Without Sandra Bullock.
We were blindsided with this one.
Hey, yo. Okay. I employ everybody. If you haven't seen The Blind Side, Sandra Bullock, she won some awards for this shit.
I think so, man.
She won some awards for this.
I think so, man.
Yo, turn on your streaming services and take in this flick.
Listen, it's a good movie.
And then come back to the Michael Oher story that's in the media now. Because people are looking like, what?
The Michael Oher, not horror. The Michael Oher story.
Yeah, it's built different. With all of this and stuff, whatever, like, I'm not even trying to go into detail and stuff and explain too much about that story, but do you believe in white saviors?
I don't believe in them.
Really? Okay. I'm reluctant on it because I feel like a lot of things and stuff are show.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's why I said I employ everybody to watch the movie.
Yeah.
Because the way how the movie portrayed it, and you know, like, I want to say fiction would imitate like real life.
Yeah.
But I look at it where it didn't seem like they came from the place of, I'm doing it for clout.
No.
I'm doing it to say, you know, this is what I do, a philanthropy kind of thing.
Right, yeah.
I felt like the movie portrayed it as these people are just doing this out of the good Christian folk, out of their hearts.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Their loving hearts.
Their loving hearts. Right. Now when you get this real ass story,
yeah.
Poor Mike thought he was being adopted.
Yeah.
When he was actually signing conservation papers on some Britney Spears shit.
Britney Spears shit.
Slave for them. I'm looking at it and stuff. Right back again. I'm looking at stuff as like, I was scared for, like when I heard everything, I was like, oh shit, if it's conservation and they signed this stuff for them, that means they ate the rights for the movie. And then it comes out and stuff. Because this story's cooking. This story is not a brand new thing. It came earlier February this year.
Okay.
February 2020. Yeah, February 2023.
Okay, because I just got caught wind of it last week.
I heard part of it and stuff like when he stopped talking to them from like February. That's when I heard. Like Michael Oher's not fucking with his people and stuff. I think it's like kind of like around the All-Star time or a little bit after the All-Star break, NBA All-Star time. That's what I heard about it. Because I'm into sports. Right? So when I was seeing that, because it's kind of like, remember, the football hype is dying down.
Yeah, he's retired now.
He's retired.
Okay.
He's retired. So I was looking at that, I was like, okay, but then now hearing all of this, I'm like, oh, you didn't get no change for the flick?
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Forget the whole,
the flick's about you.
My guy.
The flick's about you.
The whole flick is about you. And then when this whole thing started popping up like last week, more and more about like his situation, it blew my mind. I thought he just had one sibling. Because in the movie, they only showed one sibling.
They just showed the one sibling in the movie. So he's got more than one sibling.
He has 8 from his biological family. And then the boy and the girl from the family that, you know.
You can't even say adopted family because he was never adopted.
I know, I can't even say that. That's why I was trying to hold back on my tongue. I was like,
you can't even say adopted family because he was never adopted.
That's fucked.
That is fucked.
That is fucked. I always used to say, well, because I heard, you know, I always looked at it and when I see the celebrities going to adopt some of these children, they tend to go to Africa and they might be non-black. And, you know, I'm finna say they do it for the clout and everything. Maybe because they got bread. So I said, when I win the lotto, or if I get lotto bread and stuff like that, whatever, I was going to go to South Africa and adopt a white kid.
You're going to go
to
South
Africa.
Africa?
Be like,
I was going to say, why don't you go to like some slum in Europe?
Yes.
You go to like Lithuania or, you know, some slum in Lithuania and just adopt a white kid.
I want a homeless ratchet UK kid now. And I was like, can we change your name, young lad, to Charles? And let Charles know I'm in charge? And walk around, oh, this is my other son?
This is my other son.
And they just portrayed him around.
He's going to be a doctor.
What? It'll be all fun and games stuff, whatever. Be like, yo, Charles, go get me some juice. And they take some photos and stuff of it. This black slave owner. That's what they're going to call me.
Slave owner.
But the Caucasian style, it's white savior. I think the whole situation stuff with Mike, like, long story short, Mike should get his bread. My opinion, Mike should get his bread. They take him to the ringer because they made bread and they're probably even receiving residual money from the flick.
Of course, yes, for sure.
It's like how they're seeing residual money from the flick. Whatever checks that they've been issuing the past few years, they need to pay like they weigh.
It's just,
it's
what's with some people, man. It's like the decency would say this, would have you say to yourself, "Hey, I'm making money off this man. He's owed something."
People's ethics. Ethics are a hell of a thing and stuff.
Yeah,
whatever.
I guess I have too much, man, because I couldn't possibly do that.
Well, somebody's ethics and stuff is different, though, right? All right, picture this. Let's say this now. You about to go somewhere. You about to go to an event. Let's say a week from today, right? Let's say you order a watch. You're like, yo, this watch will pop with whatever you're gonna wear to this event.
Yeah.
Right? And you buy kicks.
Right.
So you buy some shoes. We'll say whatever it is, you buy some shoes, and then you buy a watch.
Okay.
The shoes gets there, let's say before, and then the following day, you get the watch.
Right.
And then the following day after that, you get another watch.
Okay.
Right? So now you got 2 watches.
Wrist up.
What do? Do you send back the watch and be like, you send in an error?
Right.
Or do you keep the watch? And you probably sell it to get your money back and stuff.
I'm going to keep that watch.
Okay, and some people say your ethics is fucked.
You know what I say to that?
Oh, what God did.
Look all God good enough.
Yes, he did. Are we really ethical in general? Because everybody, like, I want to say, yes, we would throw the hammer or we would throw the book at the Tully family.
Yeah.
Right? But if opportunity kind of presented itself like that, whatever, like I always look at stuff as where, well, I'm gonna say it with my chest. Like, what if LeBron James' father just comes out of nowhere?
Yeah.
Right? I heard people say, like, I heard OGs say, you know, especially the anti-LeBron folks, they're like, LeBron James' mom had the best one-night stand ever. Look how much money it turned out to be. Right? No, think about how many moms have probably had all these kids be like, you useless piece of shit, you're a jail, you're a loser, you're a failure. And then think about, you're a mom now, and your kid turns out to be LeBron James, a billionaire, still hooping. You know he's nicing you up and stuff, whatever. You know the mom is going with the family goes. She has her own spot.
She's got her own spot.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, now you might not be into the position for the one-night stand or the child birthing aspect and stuff, but now you have this big-ass kid drop in your lap. You put him into football. He's doing well.
Yeah.
And now, yes, you could have been the I guess the quote unquote more ethical thing to adopt the guy,
right,
and then go about it the regular way or the proper way, or you'd be looking like, man, motherfucker, we gave you a shelter. You know what I'm saying? We've given you a home, a warm bed, your own room. They bought him a truck, like, you know, like in a movie.
Yeah,
in a movie.
But here's the difference, though.
Go ahead.
Adopting would have made it seem like you did all of these things out of the kindness of your heart. And oh my gosh, I didn't know you could play football that well. You're going to be a superstar. You turn around and you blessed us. No, what happened was,
just in case you don't bless us, we gonna bless ourselves.
We see potential in your earnings right now.
So they were his former agents before he got an agent.
They were managers before they were agents. They were his managers.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they were. Because a manager, this is exactly what a manager does. And I'm saying this because a lot of you people out there have managers who shouldn't have managers.
Oh, we went here.
A lot. Let me say this, right? For the most part, a manager is going to take a certain percentage from you, right? If you're not in a position where you're making money for your manager to take a percentage from you, is your manager working pro bono then? He's working pro bono then, right?
Should be.
He's working pro bono then, right?
Right.
In the hopes that when you do make money, you're going to pay him, right? How many managers, good managers, good managers that you know work pro bono?
Probably, like, I want to say damn near like 1% to 0.
Right. Everybody else is trying. And there's no harm in trying. Just understand what you have. Right?
What do you mean by that?
It just understand what you have, right? As a manager that's trying, and understand you might have to help that person who you. So guess what? It's not a real manager. If you're in that position, when you start making the ways and you start presenting yourself and you start making headship, the serious managers will come looking for you.
True, but I look at it stuff, even the serious ones and stuff were probably established, right?
Yes.
Okay, the established ones, I feel like they would already, like, I want to say, you're paying, like, the reason why they're taking, like, let's say, a hefty cut,
right,
is because you're following the lines of, like, their landscape and what they've already done paid.
Yes, and the established ones will see where the level that you're out, and they will, and that's what I'm saying. They will take money out of their own pocket, right?
Okay.
Along with their connections, right? And push you further to where you're supposed to go. If you don't have a manager who can make that connections or supply you with the stuff that you don't need, you're doing the work yourself. You're still doing the work yourself.
That I'm not too sure, because I never really operated myself with a management company, because I looked at it stuff as like the money that I've made with other businesses and stuff like that pertaining to like that landscape.
Right.
I'm my own damn manager. I'm Marvinger.
Right.
I'm Marvinger.
Right.
So I look at it stuff as like, if it gets to like
that
you
extent
said,
where now you can no longer handle the day-to-days, this, that. You have to handle that off now.
yes,
You're gonna have people fighting for that.
Correct.
Because now it's of value. Now there's something in there where a manager can say, hey.
The boss, come on, man. Like I want to say, Field of Dreams, we built it, and then they come, and then you know how many times I go to some places and stuff for that. Yo, like can I help you do something pertaining to the podcast? Can I help you? You guys got something over there. You guys don't need to do extra things. I had one person tell me stuff. They're willing to help out with topics. I'm like, you don't even listen to the fucking show. Be like, oh, I want to, like, you guys ever talk about interracial dating? Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Less than 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Like within the first 10.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you talking about? Like, where are we going with this? You guys talk about, yeah, we talk about mental health. Yeah, we talk about suicide. Yeah, we talk about this. We talk about that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't trust you to manage not even a piece of fruit for me. Because again, you're in it for your own personal gain. And you have no backing and stuff for them to say like, all right, I put you on. What's different now? What landscape is different? Are you now saying your manager today and stuff for that? Then you take me to, I don't know, Tidal to say, yo, we're gonna have a meeting with Jay-Z and them to talk about why the podcast should be on that platform only.
Right.
No.
I've been asked to be management a few times. And
why? Because they know they see you in action.
Yeah, because they see me in action, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they know whatever they're in, I know a fair bit about it.
And
right?
some people go hunting for their own managers.
And some people go hunting for their own managers.
Right.
Right. But at the same time, I know the business, right? But I'm not in I know myself not to be in a position of management. Because the stuff that I need to do for you, I don't have the capacity to do it. You may think I have the capacity to do it, which is great. But weeks from now, when I don't follow through with you, and you turn around and look into me and say, well, I need you to do this, I need you to do that, and you didn't do it for me. But, bro. I understand my limitations.
But right, but that's what I'm saying. This is where I want to say your ethics would kick in.
Right.
And be like, all right, this is furthest I can go. You might need something greater than me or better than me and stuff like that. And you might want to point them to the proper direction.
Yeah.
We live in a capitalist society again. And it's like personal gain is a hell of a thing. And much as even like these trying times where I look at this stuff as to us, or let me speak for myself. To me, it may look like there's an influencer around every corner and stuff. When you're looking at, let's say, the broad scheme of things and stuff. Let's say social media wise,
yeah,
you probably type in like Toronto influencers or influencers based in Toronto, and you might get a whole list of them. But now look at that pertaining to like population of the place. Let's say the population of Toronto is like over 3 million. You're not gonna have even like 100,000 like influencers. Yeah. You may have like maybe 5,000.
Yeah,
maybe, if that.
Maybe.
If that. So that's what I'm saying, right? I look at the stuff as where we're just, when we do a search, we're just kind of honing in on like a particular thing, but it's a rarity.
Yeah.
Because I look at it stuff as like people say like, everybody has a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. How many podcasts make it over 20 episodes?
Right.
Right? You can start a podcast and it can just be the legendary fall-offs.
Yeah.
Right? But then how many would, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it kind of works in that kind of landscape of stuff where we think it's a lot, but it's not really a lot. But we're just kind of like scrutinized or just kind of honed in on this type of thing. So it looks at like, well, this person's a good manager, this person's a good manager, this person's a good manager and stuff, whatever. But I think a real good person,
yeah,
like an ethical person, would be like, this is my limitations.
Right. Yeah.
This is as far as I can go. You need something bigger and greater than me.
Yeah.
And that's dope. But again, not everybody has ethics. That's what I'm saying. Are we all really ethical? Money, 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 money. Money. So that part.
Yeah, I think you should just be honest with yourself, honest with your abilities.
Yeah,
and take it from there. It's like, and if the person is fine with that, then the person is fine with that.
Yes.
Then, you know what I mean? That's cool, but don't have people's expectations of you up here and then you're just pretending like you can, but you deep down you know you can't.
I mean, but people fake it till they make it all the time.
People do fake it till they
and
make
it's
it.
not a brand new thing. This concept is you want to make $1 million, sometimes you got to look like $1 million.
It's not.
Right?
I mean, there's a lot of them faking it and not making it too.
Oh, it's tons.
So that's what you got to. That's what you got to decipher and work your way through, right? And that's what I'm saying. And again, you building yourself up, right?
Okay.
The serious ones will come looking for you.
Build the dreams.
They're not searching. The serious ones will come look for you.
Mm.
And it's funny because that's when I took when I went to school for audio engineering, they had a part of it, they did a business section and part of it was management. They had a management, just a few, I wouldn't even say a full course, but they touched upon it. And the dude, he was the manager of, I don't know if you remember this group back in the day called the Parachute Club.
No.
They had this song called Rise Up, Rise Up, Rise Up to the Power.
No.
It must have been that popular only here in Canada.
Oh, okay. How about this? I was like,
but anyway, he was the manager of the Parachute Club. And he would say like, no, it's like we wait to see like who is going to be the next thing. And then we go and we invest in them. Like we have our paper put down. We this, that, and the third. Like a lot of people don't know, like your management is sometimes responsible for getting your shit played on the radio.
No, but that's I think that's part of the management aspect because I look at it as where I'm looking at it from sports.
Yeah,
like to hone it back into the Michael Oher story. I look at it as where, oh shit, this guy's out here doing these numbers.
Right.
From the sacks to the tackles to all of the above. And would be a fool not to get him before somebody else gets him. And then that's why agents scout.
Right.
Right? And then they'll go like, oh, they'll schmooze the family and the peoples. Let us take you out to here for dinner. Let's take you here. I can do this, because they're established.
And then the family becomes instant management.
I'm always afraid of like the what is it called?
The momagers?
Yes, I was about to say. I was like Ashanti's mom. She had a nameplate. A momager, like her name, like her necklace said momager. I was like, who? Oh,
the momagers.
But momagers. Yeah. I don't know. Like again, this is like an ethical thing and stuff. Whatever. I just look at it stuff where I always ask like things like, is it legal? Is it fair and balanced? And then how do you feel after?
Yeah.
Because like if you can sleep with yourself or you can live with yourself to know for a fact you did a snake move.
Right.
Then go through.
I think my ethics stops with how it affects someone else personally. If it's like if it's affecting someone else personally, then I'm probably not with it.
You rob a bank for your family.
Right.
Your cut in this bank robbery is $100,000.
Right.
You give like your kids and your wife some bread and everything like that, whatever, touch wood. One kid and stuff, whatever, just starts over abusing the money and stuff, whatever, for like, let's say, drugs.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel fucked up now? Because with this bank robbery and stuff, you did it for everyone to be up. And now one person and stuff just went astray with it.
Nah.
Oh, okay. That's it. Like I said, if you can sleep and face with yourself and stuff with all that, then some people just go through. Because I look at it stuff as you're gonna have selfless people, and you're gonna have selfish people.
I'm not that person should feel fucked up.
For the waste?
Yeah, because I put myself in danger to get you that bread.
Hove did that, so hopefully no one would have to go through that.
Right. And then you take the money and do that shit with it?
Fuck you.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
One last thing pertaining to the Michael Oher thing. because the real story and stuff is that his father, I believe, was in prison. I think he ended up passing there.
Yeah.
And then his mom was hooked on drugs and end up losing that battle and stuff. But pertaining to children of drug addicts, do children of drug addicts you think they forgive their parents? Because
I'm gonna have to say depends on the type of parent, depending on the type of parent.
What do you mean by
what that parent was, right? Like, because you could have people who have drug problems, but they're at the end of the day
they can still function.
They can still function, and the good people they just have a bad problem, right? And then you have some people who are just they can't function at all, and they're horrible people when it comes to that type of thing. Right?
I not to cut you, but I seen what's that? Iana Van Zet, like Fix My Life.
Yeah.
And when DMX was on there, R.I.P. DMX.
R.I.P. DMX.
I remember they had a full thing with I think his eldest son and his ex-wife, and it was wild because like the son's like, yo, I really want a relationship with you.
Right.
And so and I guess they show some old photo of like X in like a Fat Farm like commercial or something. Like,
yeah,
I want this guy again to be my father and everything. Like, he's like, well, this guy was on drugs.
Right.
So this guy is still me. And I was like, how do you forgive that? Because like he's saying like X was saying like, yo, like I don't got no problem.
Yeah.
But drugs is what helped end his life. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at stuff, I'm like, do these kids like before like someone loses their life, like do you forgive them? Because I'm pretty sure that'll turn your world into like a shitstorm.
If you gotta go through that and just the constantly, especially those who gotta go with this parent or gotta go stay at this money, like until things get some sort of normalcy.
What if it doesn't get any normalcy?
I mean, and the fact that for some of them it never does get any form of normalcy, right? But then
you might end up in a white savior's pockets or parent house, and then they might take you in and they might tell you sign some papers. We got you, and then we know a story like that.
Yeah, but then we also know other stories like how like Jay-Z tell you his mom was on crack.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And she persevered.
And she persevered, and there's no love lost on his end. He understood he understood the demons that she faced, right?
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. It depends on I think it depends on the parent.
Gotcha.
It really depends on the parent, because we all gonna face certain type of struggles in our life that we gotta overcome, right? It's who are we when we're going through that?
Well said. Well said. Yeah. Okay. Let's get to the question of the week.
Question of the week.
Question of the week says, could cheating be justified?
Could cheating be justified?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when it comes with a big payday like that movie.
Because they cheated him. Clever. I see what you did there. Clever.
You see what I did there?
Well played. I feel like, okay, let's say your partner cheated on you, right?
Right.
Do you take revenge with somebody let's say you worked at a place and stuff, whatever, and somebody always was, looking you, eyeing you down and stuff, whatever, and like, oh, hit you with that Alicia Keys shit. I always felt like that You Don't Know My Name album, that album, I think Diary of Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
I call it the Swiss Beats album. Because you had that track, If I Was Your Woman, and then You Don't Know My, all of that shit, whatever, right? I won't tell your secrets. See,
that's the Swiss Beats album.
That's the Swiss Beats album. The Swiss Beats album. But like your partner cheated, right? Do you take revenge with somebody that you know that you like?
Nah. Because then, we're going back to the whole ethics thing, right? It's like, they always say 2 wrongs don't make a right. Like,
But you can do something wrong correctly.
You can do something wrong correctly.
I'm sorry, disregard that.
Two wrongs still don't make it right.
Somebody's jaw probably dropped like, this mother. I'm sorry. As you were.
Two wrongs don't make it right. And at the end of the day, you're no better than the person that wronged you. Like, so what leg do you have to stand on?
So then comes your own personal ethics.
Yeah, you have no moral ground to stand on.
If you don't stand for something, you fall for everything.
There you go.
Well said. I would say cheating on a test could be justified if you didn't study properly, but hey, yo, you need this mark.
But you need this mark.
But I see where you're coming from. I'm not mad at it. I would say I'm probably about on your bandwagon and stuff with that as well.
Yeah.
So fair. All right. We're flying, baby.
Yeah.
Are we?
Almost.
Let's get to the Acts of Sons. So first Acts of Sons come from Anime King 1108 or 1108. What's the dumbest reason you went to the hospital?
Oh. So this was in high school. And we used to high school, you make up the most stupidest games. So
I don't like where this is going, but I want to know.
We used to have this game where if someone was standing like too close to like a wall or it could be a locker or it could be a door, we'd run up and jump and pretend to dunk on them. So you're walking by your locker.
Yeah.
You'd run up and then dunk on the locker and dunk on you at the same time. So one time, my friend, I think it was Junes. I think it was Junes one day was going through the door and he was going through the door and if y'all remember school, each door had the exit signs.
Yeah.
So I went and I
dunked on somebody.
I dunked on I think it was Junes, and I slapped the exit sign,
and it came down.
No.
Oh.
The X, the pointy part of the X.
Yeah.
Cut and slit my hand right open. So
you do got a scar there.
I don't know if I'm gonna bring it close to the camera. I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like a little Nike swoosh.
Oh shit!
That Nike swoosh is from the exit sign at school.
These are confessions like Usher.
So yeah, that's the stupidest reason I ended up in the hospital.
So every day in your life and the rest of your adult life, you have to look at this and think about how dumb you are.
Not only do I got the mark on my hand, but Mrs. Odd, shout out to Mrs. Odd, the gym teacher who took me to the hospital, signed my yearbook that year and said, watch out for the exit signs, they attack.
She bunked you too?
She bunked me too.
Well.
Yeah.
For me.
Not gonna top it. Not gonna top it.
No, I don't got no scar for my shit, whatever. I was just a badass kid. I don't know where the fuck I got this thing, but I just seen people like, wait, I think it was possible. I probably saw somebody with a hearing aid.
Yeah.
So I just thought the shit was kind of cool. So I just took some tissue and just kind of put it right there, right? And I used to always just put it right there.
Yeah.
But then one day I went to go take it out, whatever, and then the bitch went down somewhat into the ear canal, and I couldn't reach it and get it out myself. So I started freaking out. So I was like, I tried to use some things to kind of grab it, and I was like, what the fuck do I do? Dad? And he took me like, what the? And then he looked at me like, what the fuck did you do? I was like, that's what I said. We went to the hospital. And then when I went to the hospital, I think that's when the dance and stuff was funny. They're like, oh, okay, we'll just tweeze it out. I was like, I tried that.
Yeah.
But like,
special techniques.
Like, did you try it? They're like, I'm like, I did. Yeah, we can tell. That's why I went further down. I was like, it's not gonna work. I'm gonna be deaf in his ears. And then that's when they said it to me. They're like, no, they blow dried it.
Yeah.
Because I guess me now, I'm not looking dead at it. So I'm over here like this, trying to tweeze out some shit I can't see no more.
Right.
And when they have the full look and view,
yeah,
They tweezed it out.
They tweezed it out
and saved my life.
I had my sister one time. She used to do this prank when we were kids, where she would put an orange seed in one ear, right? And act like it can't come out of her mouth.
Yeah.
And it would always used to fool me. I'd be like, oh, she put the orange seed in there and it came out of her mouth. Yo, one time she put the orange seed in the ear and that shit didn't come out. We had to take it to the hospital.
I like my ear.
Yeah,
one of my joys and stuff, one of my early joys, because I let you know, is that I need a shower to start my day.
Right.
My day's officially started once I shower.
Yeah.
Right? When I come out the shower and that Q-tip, you're not supposed to do it.
No, you're not.
I don't give a fuck.
You're not supposed to.
I'm doing it though, because I get my eargasms and stuff off, whatever, right? And then after I do it now, I'm looking like, I think back of the day, I was like, oh. So I'm shallow when I use like the Q-tip. I was like,
not too far.
Yeah, not too far. Not too far. Because I got that lesson in second grade. So yeah. All right. Let's get to the next question. Next question comes from Lil-Yara. What is a real example you've witnessed someone destroying their own happiness? Where do I start? No, I know a dude. His grandfather had bread.
Okay.
The father had a decent job and stuff like that, but the grandfather and stuff like, I think there's a few grandkids. Let's say he had a sibling, and I think there was an aunt that had a sibling and stuff, whatever. And the grandfather really wanted the grandchildren to have this bread that he acquired,
right,
to get it.
Right.
It was like, I want to say, with him, it was in the M's.
Okay.
It was within the M's. Some people are blessed like that, whatever, right? I don't want to say, but let's say, I mean, it's not normal, typical black behavior, so you can tell I'm not talking about a black person. Black people really don't do that too much, but we're establishing that now with generational wealth. We're learning now.
We're learning.
My guy, he liked poker. He thought he was one of these poker stars and stuff that are coming up and everything like that.
Yeah.
This motherfucker like squandered off a good portion of like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he probably got maybe an M or maybe 2 M's. He probably, like I said, the grandfather had bread. So I think the parents,
I
think his father, his aunt, and an uncle, like they got some like good portion, but I think like the grandkids and stuff would have got probably an M.
Okay.
My man turned his M to like hundreds in like, I think a matter of like 2 years. Wow. I'm like, when I found out about it and stuff that it was going down like that, I was like, you're not a poker phenom, doc. Like, what do you think this is? He's like, but
playing poker.
Playing poker, because like a lot of these big wig places, you have to pay entry fee to these things. So now picture you're paying entry fee and you're not even placing in like the top like 3 spots.
Yeah.
So as you're going over and over and over, and then he's actually left. He left like, I want to say, abused all the damn local shit here.
Yeah.
And then Ontario was out of his thing. He's like, you know what? Maybe Vegas might be a better place to try his luck. The man went on vacay and stuff, whatever, I think with a girlfriend at the time and stuff, to like Costa Rica. And Costa Rica has a good amount of casinos.
Right.
Did some of that shit and stuff there too. And then again, when you go to Vegas and Costa Rica now, they're operating U.S. currency.
Right.
So his M's was in Canadian. You're kind of converting this shit over now to kind of play catch up to the U.S. So let's say if typically he would take, let's say 10,000 Canadian and stuff like that, these places and stuff might require 10,000 U.S. So then he would probably have to take like 18,000 Canadian. So it's like, it's the bit by bit is adding up and stuff and just drinking away his shit. And it was the saddest thing in the world, my guy.
It's weird because like, if you're not what it is in a Canadian casino, here in Canada, right? What makes you think that you're going to go? It's not, because it's not blackjack. This is poker. You're leaving little old Canada to go to these big casinos to go is play with an established, more deeper players, and feel like you're gonna have a better result.
I'm not him. I can't answer that. I just know that when I got wind of stuff, whatever, of this, and I had to look. I looked him in his eye when like the M's was gone to like to some change. I'm like, boss.
Wow, that's a hard one.
I'm like, boss, you couldn't even put up 100 racks, 100,000 racks to say like, this is what I'm at least keeping, and the rest is like gamble shit, whatever, right? To say maybe this could be a bill back or say like, this is when you get to 100 racks, you get to $100,000, you say maybe gambling ain't my thing.
Better yet, how about set aside 100 racks for gambling? And if you lose that, understand that gambling's not your thing.
That's the real example I got for you, Lil-Yara. It's a good damn question. What do you got?
Yeah, I got one. I mean, dude pretty much just did some stuff to his family members, and they just
turned their back on him.
Yeah. And he had a real solid family, like people who really loved him. And he threw that all away for selfish and guilty pleasure.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
My guy, if you're listening, if you ever listen,
you listen, man.
Your story.
So is it come like? Is he still in the range of surviving with what he has, or is it just?
Well, I don't speak to him like that no more,
Okay,
but I speak to somebody who might speak to him a little bit more.
Yeah.
We talk about having 100 racks and stuff, and kind of can create some shit where you don't have to work anymore.
Right.
Right?
Right.
The man had, let's say, $1 million.
Yeah.
He's working a retail job now. He's working a retail job. To my, or like to the last time I heard, 2023, 2021, I heard he was working a retail job. Because I remember specifically, I think I went out with some peoples and took a photo and stuff like that, and then he hit me in the DM and stuff. He's like, "Oh shit!" He's like, "I didn't know you're on Instagram. I thought you didn't like social media, or whatever, right?"
Yeah.
Because I knew him from like back then.
Yeah.
Like I knew him through school.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Yeah, I'm out here now and stuff like." He's like, "Yeah, you got a podcast? Like, yo, maybe one of these days might come on there." I was like, "Oh no, but you got to give your story." I don't think you want to put a face to your story, whatever, right?
I was about to say,
but
imagine going to the family events, like the family reunion, and seeing other cousins who were blessed and probably might have taken that blessing and
oh no,
grown it to something stupid.
Oh no. It's not my place, though.
It's not my place.
Not
either,
my place.
But...
And because, like I said, once I witnessed this, whatever, I was like, I left it. I was like, the right things happen to the wrong people at times.
Sometimes it'll just be that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll just be that.
Okay. Last question comes from Lotus Flower Mom. I like the name.
Lotus Flower Mom. Shout out.
Not bomb, but mom. If you could instantly have 10,000 hours of experience in something, what would it be?
Piano. Playing the piano.
Digital marketing and stock trading for me. Because when I see some of these guys, I'm a day trader and stuff, I make millions of dollars. I don't understand that shit.
I don't know that.
You give me that fast, like a Thanos snap?
Yeah.
And I have the knowledge?
Yeah.
I'll see you in a week, man. You know what I mean?
Day trading.
Yeah. That would be it for me. We are here.
We are here.
We came, we saw, we conquered. Veni, Vedi, Vici. So say the Suns. Let's get to the So Say the Suns this week. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So Say the Suns this week says, this is the bar Smooth was talking about. Learn to let go your letdowns.
So say the Suns.
I look at this stuff. Well, you and I, we always talk about people lamenting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some people get lost in the lament or the L, the loss, turns to like a full lament and they just can't let it go. Like they're stuck in the moment. I call it the Uncle Rico effect because I like the movie Napoleon Dynamite. He's like, man, if Coach would have put me in, we'd have been state champs. But you're not. That time has come and passed. Yeah. What are you doing with the now? Let that shit go. I'm like, some people just can't let the letdown go.
Yeah.
And I feel like it just needed to be said, at least from our side.
Yeah.
Because we've been giving them nothing but jewels and happiness and wisdom and all the above. We got to get them the basics and stuff as well.
Right.
Because some people, the basics might even, I want to say, have a deeper and a more sonic boom effect than other things.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I agree.
That part. So say the Suns.
So says the Suns.
We are here, man. Like I said to you before in the beginning, like, comment, subscribe, and all the above. We do appreciate you guys.
We do.
Shout out to SoundCloud and stuff, whatever, too, because I do like when the comments come in on SoundCloud. I guess when they comment, it hits right at like the second mark or the minute, the timestamp mark.
Yeah, you can see where.
And then like I'm like, what the hell is that? I really love this episode or Deep Thought. I was like, you can pinpoint.
Yeah,
you can backtrack and stuff. You're like, oh, somebody commented right here. So shout out to SoundCloud on that. Appreciate you guys, man, over there.
Oh, shout out Canadian Tire. I don't usually do this, but I went to buy oil the other day, and I was impressed. Like the little menu system, like there's like, I kid you not, maybe about 100 different SKUs, and I'm like, I would have been there for years, but they got this little shit. Push and show me the SKU. That shit started beeping at me. Hey, I'm over here. I was amazed.
You can find shit.
I was like, and the parking lots that do that too. That with a little.
To let you know.
Yeah, to let you know
the parking space is available.
Listen, thank you for those little small things just to let us know. It's appreciated.
Well said. Once again, folks, thank you for listening to Podical Sons. Remember the difference between genius and stupidity.
Genius has its limits.
Facts. Take care, everybody. Peace.
Love.
The Podical Sons with Not Your Average Joseph and Sofa King Marvelous.